The Parks and Trails Commission are a group of passionate Redmond citizens who care very much about parks, trails, and recreation. And we're responsible to provide recommendations and advice to the mayor and the council. And we work very, very closely with the Parks Department. We started off the year planning, and we had a couple of key goals. The first of which was to increase our engagement in Redmond and on several different dimensions. The first was with parks, trails, and recreation. And the commission divided up all of the parks and trails in the city. We essentially adopted them. Everybody went out and visited parks and then talked about their visits in the monthly meetings. And we also participated in the big events that the city puts forward, the Derby Days, always a favorite, Redmond Lights, and the big achievement for the year, which was the grand opening of the Redmond Central Connector, which is, if you haven't seen it, it's a fabulous linear park and trail, and it's the first stage of that. There will be 2 more stages to go. And we also engaged more with elected officials. We had several meetings with the mayor and with city council to advocate for parks and trails and recreation into the future. And in all of the various public events, we spent a lot of time talking with Redmond citizens and residents about what they want in the way of parks and trails in the future. And so that helped us when we started to work on our next goal, which was a review of the park plan, which is a massive notebook that contains the plans out through 2030 for all of the parks, trails, and recreation facilities in the city. And one of the issues we have is Redmond is growing, lots more people showing up, lots of demand for new things as well as more programs in our existing facilities, and we have to keep up. And not just with the new people, but our existing parks need facelifts and upgrades, and we have land that hasn't been turned into parks yet, and all of that's in the mix, as well as a pretty complicated situation where we've got a number of recreation buildings, including Hartman Pool, the old Redmond Schoolhouse, the Teen Center, and the Senior Center, and we're looking to consolidate many of those into a new downtown community center, recreation center, and pool. And so all of this has to be sort of planned, and as you can imagine, priorities are key to this. So we spent an enormous amount of time trying to figure out what the top priorities were, and working with council, recommending to them what funds should be spent and when.